Xavi, get up. There you go. She's like, wait, there's no food in there. So, it's hard to know which breed is your favorite when you start out. I think that's the hardest part, is picking a breed. And sometimes people decide, after having goats for a while, they're going to change and try a different breed. This is a La Mancha. This is the only American breed of dairy goat, and just happens to be my absolute favorite breed of goat in the whole world.
Why is it your favorite?
They have a personality that is just so no nonsense. They're just easy. Everything about them is easy, and goats aren't usually this loud. It just happens to be feeding time, and there's babies. There's a goat over here that wants to be milked.
Everyone wants.
Everyone wants something. You're kind of demanding out there, guys. Quiet. La Manchas have little ears. Show her your ears. No.
Sure, they have tiny ears.
Tiny little ears. And the first question at a show is, oh, why did you crop their ears? That's terrible.
Oh, no. They just have small ears.
The first time I saw them, that was the first thing that came to my mind is, did they do that to their ears? They cut their ears, you know, because like a dog?
It seems cruel, yeah.
That's their ears. There's no cropping of the ears.
So how many goats do you have total now?
I don't know. How many are out there now?
How many are there?
You wake up one day and you go, I have too many goats.
Probably 10 or 11.
11?
10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bud Baxter right there, he is a wether. He's snipped.
Oh, he is?
Yep.
You kept him as a pet, right?
Little balls are cut off. He's a buddy to keep the buck who's not snipped, because he's for breeding. We call him Mountain Man because he always has a cud and it looks like chewing tobacco in it.
I want to get a picture.
He's so cool. He's just wise and nothing bothers him. Loves everybody.
And how many different breeds do you have here on your goat farm?
He's a Nigerian dwarf. And then Daisy's a recorded grade. She's crossed between Oberhasli and Nubian, and then La Mancha. Oh, and the babies, they're crossed between between Daisy. So those babies are now La Mancha, Nubian, and Oberhasli.
Okay.
They will be very dairy. Looking at the parents, yeah, they'll be very dairy.
Oh.
The whole goal is to breed up, to constantly make the breed better and better. This is Xaviera. She's very sweet, and she has good lineage on both sides. Her pedigree is fantastic. She finished champions on both sides and all that. But she's very small, and dairy-wise, she's not ideal. She doesn't have this triangle. She should be bigger through here. You want them to breed with ease, and she's rather small here. She's had a lot of problems conformation-wise. As far as a family milker, she's great. Mm-hmm. And so I keep her.
Yeah.
But I will breed her too. I have a La Mancha buck out there who's beautiful. Comes from a fabulous farm with gorgeous animals, and he's wonderful pedigree-wise. And him, he's a breeder.
Right.
He will make my herd what I want it to be.
Really?
So her babies will be, he'll carry through with his genetics. Nice udders, more size, nice and long, all the things I look for. So you choose
like, do you kind of just let one in and?
Yeah, those two are.
Yeah.
Little lovable. They look like little unicorns out there.
I'm gonna have to look. Those two over there. Okay.
They're breeding.
They're breeding now. Okay.
So she has tiny little teats. That's not ideal.
Yeah.
I have a little hand. This is a little milking machine. It's not really a machine. This goes onto the mason jar. This attaches to the teat, and you pump it up with the pressure, and then the milk comes out. And I can sit here and read Facebook on my phone, drink my coffee,
wow, that's
or my wine, while I'm milking. It's super easy. This is actually
her small teeth.
Yes, it fits them perfectly. And then, you know, somebody like you can come and milk for me, and it's not a big deal because you can just put the machine on and you don't have to know how to reach up, and there's no technique involved. And the babies are almost ready to feed. Let me finish her.
Anything else you want to add about just goat knowledge or goat milk in itself, and how much like
goats have parasites?
Experience that you've had with it? Yeah.
Did I just freak you out? I said parasite.
Yeah.
Well, you work at the clinic. Most people, they're like, parasites. Oh,
what kind of parasites do goats have?
The main parasite they have to deal with is what we call the Haemorrhagis contortus. Did I say it right? We call it the barber pole worm because it makes their gut bleed. Yeah, not good. Causes them to get anemic and just basically bleed to death on the inside, and their food doesn't absorb. And so goats and cows always have eggs in their systems. It doesn't mean they have parasites. If they don't have very many eggs, then they probably don't have any of the large, no adult parasites. They just have the eggs, and but if the animal gets stressed out, those eggs will hatch, and then quickly the population just grows, and then your animal gets sick very quickly and can die, just that quick, die on you from the parasites. So we try to keep the parasites under control. My goats live on a tennis court. I don't think anybody else in the world has goats on a tennis court. I have a friend that has goats in a church in Italy. A beautiful stone church, and then the goats look out. Hi, we live here.
So you said that the community here was really small.
It's very small. They love the goats.
Not just in Hendry County, or like just in this area, like that you know everyone that has goats.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, but I think that not very many people do have goats in the whole nation. Other countries, they're very common. Everybody has them, but yeah, here they're not so common. We call this dry lot. The parasites actually they can pick them up from poop or from feces is the correct word, or large grass in the morning. It's kind of got dew on it, and that's why goats don't eat off the ground.
Yeah.
They don't like to eat anything. They will if they have to. If you're throwing the hay on the ground, eventually they're just going to eat it because you're throwing it on the ground. They have no choice. But ideally, they're foragers. They want to eat off the trees. They don't eat grass. They eat trees and weeds. So that helps them to not get parasites. And ideally in nature, they're in the mountains foraging thousands of acres.
Yeah. If they get that parasite,
they don't get to do that
does it affect their milk?
It doesn't affect their milk. It just affects their health. There's chemical wormers like ivermectin that you can give them to kill off the parasites, or you can use herbs. A lot of people use herbs, wormwood, and a mixture of like turkey, rhubarb, those sort of things to help expel. I think it becomes an environment that the parasites don't like, and it expels them. I don't have much of a problem with parasites because I use a blower and I blow off the court every couple of days. So yeah, there's no way for them. They can get the parasites, but I don't. Every once in a while I'll get paranoid and I'll give them a chemical wormer. Or bring a sample into the clinic, and you guys look at it under the microscope for eggs, and you can count the amount of eggs on that slide. If there's a whole bunch of eggs, you go, oh, yeah, problem, got to worm the goat. There's only a few eggs, you go, yeah, no big deal. Okay. But we also do this thing called fromacia, where we look at their eyelids. We just pull down their eyelid, and if it's pale, the eyelid is pale, it means they're anemic. You want it to be a nice pink color, and there's different shades to show you how anemic they might be.
Yeah.